If you know me and you know this space and you followed our content, you know that I love the love and I love the light. And I like to keep our topics focused on spaces of empowerment and where we can find our agency in this realm of spirituality. But there's certain topics where I've actually had to ask myself about when it actually becomes irresponsible not to say something. And today's topic is in that arena for me. Hello and welcome to Sangoma Society. Mina ngingu Hani Wagamakwakwa to my parents, Ngingumakhosi Unomabutho Emsamo, and this is Sangoma Society, where we demystify the ancestral. Oh my goodness, it is unavoidable the extent to which certain things are affecting our community. And I'm going to be speaking specifically to the community of Black women today. And that specific thing I'd want to speak about is our womb health. Now, there are so many different things that can affect one's womb health, including but not limited to ukungandlulisi umoya womntwana who has passed from either miscarriage or a termination of pregnancy or another medical procedure, sexual assault, environmental safety, and ubutagat, actual nefarious and intentional interference with the spiritual vibration of your womb. I'm not going to delve into the specifics of the hows and the whys, because I think there are so many confessional pages and anonymous accounts and all sorts of different platforms where that sort of thing is adequately discussed by the perpetrators of that kind of harm when they can no longer stand to live in silence about the horrors they perpetuate on other people. But it does happen that other people can use your womb energy or interfere with your womb and its natural and spiritual functions for dark-hearted reasons, whether it is to block you or in order for them to harness the power of your creative center. It makes no difference. What matters is that this happens and we find ourselves manifesting various symptoms in our physical bodies, things that can manifest as endometriosis, fibroids, cysts, where you might find that treating them in the Western medical context doesn't actually gain you the results that you would expect, and doctors might say that they're actually unable to help you. The reason for that would be that treating certain symptoms on a purely physiological basis without taking into account the spiritual cause behind it would not treat the problem in its entirety. So of course, you might find that there's no help for you on that side of the table. Now, other times you might find that the symptoms extend beyond the physical and into the creative and financial. This is because the womb sacral chakra is your creative center. It's a space that mimics creation itself in its capacity and what it is actually deigned to do in this world. And it's also the space that you pull from when you create and manifest. And that is for you to harness and direct. Now, when there's any nefarious interference in that part of your body and spirit, you can imagine that it would show results in certain aspects of your financial and creative life. There are countless ways as old as time that constitute the methods in which our wombs can be compromised. Whether it's the results of ukutwala, ukutwebula, trying to control you in a romantic context, trying to remove you as a opponent in a romantic context, or trying to control where your money goes in a familial context. There are reasons why one person or another could set out to do things that affect your sacral chakra for the adverse. And I want to just put in for a moment here a disclaimer that this is not something that is limited to affecting women in their wombs. It is also something that can affect men in their context, affecting the prostate. All these organs are within the domain of our sacral chakra and ultimately within the sequence of what drives creation for us. But in understanding this, what's most important to understand is that there are treatments available. It's not like if this is something that has happened to you, you just have to live with it. It is not that this is not something that can be addressed. Perhaps you're not able to find assistance within Western medicine. However, indigenous medicinal systems have for eons confronted these realities and addressed them through various treatments. I implore you to remember that when you approach indigenous medicine for assistance, do so respectfully, not with this one-hit wonder miraculous expectation that people tend to expect from indigenous medicinal practitioners, where it is presumed that if something has a spiritual cause, the spiritual resolution would be magic. It's treatment. What is administered is done under a regimen. There are processes and protocols. And just as you would give feedback to your doctor in the Western context, you're also expected to give treatment feedback to your indigenous medicinal practitioner, your indigenous health practitioner, in order for them to be better informed about how your condition is responding to the treatment that has been administered following diagnosis. If you believe yourself to be affected by the conditions that I spoke about in today's video, you're welcome to book a consultation to make an inquiry, find a diagnosis and a treatment plan that can bring you out of the situation that you find yourself in. However, please remember that there is a difference between a consultation and a conversation with your ancestors. Conversation with your ancestors is a whole other thing that can take as many hours as it takes to determine all manner of contributing factors to all aspects of your life. The context of a consultation addresses specifically the ailments that you have at that moment in time, their treatments, and the options that you have in front of you. It is important to remember that though you may identify with the symptoms that were mentioned for the maladies we spoke about today, the cause might not be what you think it is. Hence, in a a consultation, it is your ancestors who actually give diagnosis and treatment propositions for what you find yourself actually faced with. Whatever it is that you find yourself faced with today, I hope that this conversation has given you a little bit of clarity about things that might be affecting the health of your womb or prostate. Mina Ngingumakhosi Unomabuto. This is Sangoma Society. You can find out more about the resources we offer on www.sangomasociety.com. You're welcome to join our communities on any of the social media platforms that we are on, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Mina Nginguhani Wagamakwakwa. To my parents, I'm Honey Tell a Story on all social media platforms, and it has been a pleasure to have this conversation with you as Umakhosi Unomabuto. Gukai.